Hello everyone, and welcome to Python Multiplayer Adventure. Ultimately, what you are going to be doing in this class is you're going to be learning how to code, but you're going to be doing it in a project-based way through making a game, a multiplayer game. Ultimately, Python is a programming language. It's general purpose, meaning that it's not just for website design, although it can do that, but it's also for game software applications, geospatial applications. I have a friend who uses it in order to look at topography throughout the state of Colorado. It's a really cool programming language, and it's pretty new. It's also one of the most popular languages. So if you are looking career-wise, I know you're in middle school, but if you are looking at coding or programming as a possible career interest for you, this is a fantastic language to learn.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through this course. Obviously, you are watching this video, which is embedded right here. It's not here right now, but that's just how time works. But what I'd like to do is kind of walk you through the course and then a little bit over Module 1. So some of the important pieces here in this course are resources. Now, this right here is kind of like a generic resources for online learning. It's not very specific to us. You're not going to get as much information out of it as you will later on in some of the other folders, but this is more resources for online learning. Here under teacher information and links, you will see here under teacher contact information, my contact information will populate in a moment. And you will see my email address, which is the best way to get a hold of me, as well as my phone number. I am a part-time teacher, so I don't keep that phone on all the time, but I will generally answer most emails right on the fly. My office hours are Wednesdays and Thursdays from 1 to 2:30, and you can make an appointment by clicking here on this hyperlink. I know it's a PDF, but that is a hyperlink, and you can set up a 15 or 30-minute slot with me, and we can really figure out what's going on with you. That's one excellent way, or we can always schedule it outside of those hours. It's just those hours I have set up for office hours. Once again, email is the best way to get a hold of me. If you scroll back over here and you need help, there's another place for you to once again get to the calendar in which you can make an appointment just by clicking on one of those slots, putting your name in it, and it will send an invitation to me. But I will also be putting all of the different recorded screencasts here under this database. I will not only put them in the modules, but I will put them here for easy access. If I find something cool from a different Python resource that doesn't really fit into any of the lessons, I will put it here as well. So keep looking at this and it will be helpful. I'll send you an announcement if I put something really cool in there. That way you know what is up. So that is under teacher information and links. Now, looking at the modules, you can see that once I open up the file, you can see all of the different things that you need to do. So anything with that check box, that means it's a quiz. Anything that has just this blank paper, that means it's a lesson. So once I click on the lesson, I'm going to have two basic frames. Ultimately, I'll have this internal frame, and then I'll have this external frame. And there are different navigation keys for both of these areas. For instance, this next activity, if I click on that, that's going to move me to my quiz right away, and I don't want that. So this is for jumping around big portions of the course. Inside of here, this next will take me to the next slide. Or I can jump to the next slide clicking up here. Also, I can jump around looking at this toggle over here. That's also pretty cool. So there are a number of ways to get around this course. If you don't feel like reading it, you can always press this. You can highlight what you want, and then it will record. It will read for you what you have.
This course is a lot of fun. You will learn how to cook.
It will record for you. You can do a lot of really cool things with that. So if you want somebody to read it to you, there you go. It's right there. So I kind of want to look at these frames with you just so you can get an understanding of how everything kind of looks and the layout for the land. So this first page on overview just kind of breaks down all of the different lessons within within this course. So you can see kind of how everything works, all of the different objectives. The next thing that you'll want to do is look at this specific coding Python. There is no thread. My computer overreacts all the time. Anyway, so right here, you will notice the layout starts getting a little weird, and I'm gonna kind of get out of here for a second so you can see this. So you can click here, and what I would really suggest to you is that it doesn't start playing, but you click on here, and you will see a gentleman.
All right, guys, welcome to the first lesson.
Who will read to you, who will basically break down all of these little parts of the class for you. So if you need to watch somebody do this, you click on those video reviews. That will be so helpful to you. He breaks things down pretty easily. They use the left and the right side of the slide a little differently. So be aware that it's not supposed to be read from left to right. It's ultimately divided. There is a plane here, a vertical plane. So these boxes right here, you can actually type in. So these are your practice. These are your practice frames that you can use, and it's really cool. So it's going to tell you what to do right here. So on line 1, replace the X with your name. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put JJ. That's my first name, JJ. And then click the button, run code. The button is right here, run code. So what's going to happen is it's going to print my name. It's going to show my name. So that is what these boxes do. That's what the video will help you do. And then it will say, when you understand this slide, click the right arrow to move on. There's not an arrow for you. Don't worry about the right, just ignore that until you get to the bottom of the page. I imagine that this was originally formatted to be on a different frame, but it's not. So just ignore that. Then you're gonna move on to the next little lesson. You can click here, once again, it's a quick 2-minute lesson. You can watch this gentleman do it. So right here, it's gonna break down in language kind of what he's talking about here. These are really helpful. And this right here is kind of showing you good indented code and bad indented code. So once again, with Python, what makes this different, and the thing that they were promoting back in like 1991 when they actually produced this program, was that there was it was clear to see the coding. There's a lot of white space. They use a lot of indentation to make it clean. So you need to be good at being very specific about your spacing and your punctuation and your spelling. You cannot just whip through this and not edit your work. It's very much like an English class. You have to know where your colons go, your parentheses go. It is very, very specific. This will make you a better writer, I'm sure, but you need to know that your code is not going to work if you've got a misplaced space, or a misplaced period, or a misplaced equal sign, or an exclamation point. It won't work, so you have to be specific. So this frame right here really works right over here. This is for this lesson, and then you move back down over here. Now, when you are done and you get to this next arrow, you can go ahead and click it. Once again, this right here looks like it's a practice, so you can go ahead and plug in your information here. So right here, they are going to continue to have these frames for you to use, but on this frame, it's called Python when you're getting started. This is where you're going to get all of your packaging for your downloads. This is where you really need to spend a lot of time right away. There are video reviews for how to download these zip files. Once again, you can either use Mac or Windows. There's nothing for Chromebooks. Chromebooks do not function on a Windows or a Mac operating system. So you do need one of those. You will download a folder and you'll put it onto your desktop. This gentleman will walk you through it. If you have any questions, let me know. But once again, you go through this step, and then it looks like you're right here, then there's a totally different step. If you click here, it will give you Windows instructions. If you click here, it will give you Mac instructions. These right here are the actual files. I know they look like icons, but these you can actually click and you will get it. Actually, never mind, I think I'm wrong about that. So, yeah, sorry. So figure out which one is the appropriate one for you. Most likely Windows if you're on a PC. And then Macs, you will see the Apple icon. It's hard to miss. Anyway, so right here, you will have Windows Workspace. It will tell you exactly what to do just for Windows. If you have a Mac, it will tell you what to do with a Mac. So then you will continue to follow this, these installation procedures. They start talking about Visual Studio Code. Please don't worry about that at this moment. We are going to be working on idle more than we are on Visual Studio Code. So just follow the procedures and don't worry about what he says about Visual Studio Code being better. Most of the course is written through idle. So I prefer that we stay with what the course is asking us to do. Once again, we watch this video, then here are the Windows instructions or the Mac instructions. For Mac users, once you get to a point where you're actually putting in something called Kivy, you will need to go into your system preferences and your security settings and let your Mac install a third-party application. Kivy is a third-party application. PC users won't have a problem installing it, but Mac has a problem if it isn't vetted through the Apple Store. Kivy has not been vetted through the Apple Store. It's not dangerous to your device, but you will need to go into your system preferences and you will need to be able to allow third-party applications. And if you have a question about how to do that, I will be creating a video for that as well on the Mac. You're going to continue to go through that, and once you have that all installed, it's going to be super cool, and you kind of really start getting into Python right here under the text adventure. I'm going to stop talking now on this video because we're done here, and I will put the rest of this lesson under Module 1. But please, once again, let me know if you have any questions whatsoever. I am here to help you. My goal is to make more informative videos to help clarify anything that might be confusing for you. Remember, this is not easy. To be doing this in 6th grade or 7th grade, it takes a lot of focus. It takes a lot of determination and grit to be able to do coding. It's not easy. It's not Scratch. This is actually harder than Scratch. So just be aware that you may get frustrated, and that's okay. But you need to be able to look beyond that. You need to look at your code seriously and carefully, because you will make mistakes with spacing and you will make mistakes with spelling. So please be aware of that, and I cannot wait to see the wonderful things that you create for this course. We'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye.